Full disclosure, news and commentary number 86, 86, 86, 86, 86. Woo, 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 woo. I'm here at the dog park. Woo, woo, with AJ the dog. You're good. Just shut up for a moment. So anyway, full disclosure 86. I'm about to pause this and come over here and beat this dog. Come here. Shut up. Oh my gosh. And sometimes I don't miss training wrestlers. Yay! Good. So, what do we got going on? All right, I'm going to pause and freaking make this dog. Okay, shutting up. Thanks to my Patreon people, Dee and Dan and Diana, of course, Brian and Justin, Brett, Larry, not that one, but the other one, Rob Rod, and of course, the Big Mac Daddies, Eric the World Walker, and the OG Myron. I'm also going to list Charles down here as a sponsor because he has definitely chipped in for the Georgia Wrestling History Awards, and I definitely appreciate that. Shh, shut up. All right, I'm going to make this dog shut up. Hold up. Because I'm shooting this in a kind of a weird location for me, I forgot to do something very important. So I'm going to record this video, and I'm not tacking it on at the end. I'm going to find a way to wedge it in the beginning where it should be. Why? Amazon Prime delivering. All right, quit backing your shit up. Jesus. Because I've got a very special unboxing. I have a feeling this is going to be an amazing unboxing, so I want to do it now and then put this video in. Why do I think it's going to be amazing? Because it's from a bookstore in Pasadena, California. And because it was a release date today of a particular book, or last week, I have a feeling it's that book, so I want to open it now. Now, if this ends up being disappointing, I might scrap this thing altogether, but I'm going to do this unboxing right now. Dog's freaking out with them. Okay. Boy, it's protected as hell. I'm going to try to open this in such a way as I don't see it. Holy shit. It's the Young Bucks book. Fucking sent it. Nice. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, sign this bitch. Sent to my P.O. box. Super exciting. Well, cool. Fucking pretty great unboxing. I'm signed first edition. What? Excited. I guess I got more work to do. I'm gonna knock this bitch out as fast as I can and get a review of the fucking Young Bucks book. I'm fucking excited. Cool. Now back to our regularly scheduled full disclosure. Hold up. Because I'm shooting this in a kind of a weird location for me, I forgot to do something very important. So I'm going to record this video, and I'm not tacking it on at the end. I'm going to find a way to wedge it in the beginning where it should be. Why? Amazon Prime delivering. All right, quit backing your shit up. Jesus. Because I've got a very special unboxing. I have a feeling this is going to be an amazing unboxing, so I want to do it now and then put this video in. Why do I think it's going to be amazing? Because it's from a bookstore in Pasadena, California. And because it was a release date today of a particular book, or last week, I have a feeling it's that book, so I want to open it now. Now, if this ends up being disappointing, I might scrap this thing altogether, but I'm going to do this unboxing right now. Dog's freaking out with them. Okay. Boy, it's protected as hell. I'm going to try to open this in such a way as I don't see it. Holy shit. It's the Young Bucks book. Fucking sent it. Nice. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, sign this bitch. Sent to my P.O. box. Super exciting. Well, cool. Fucking pretty great unboxing. I'm signed first edition. What? Excited. I guess I got more work to do. I'm gonna knock this bitch out as fast as I can and get a review of the fucking Young Bucks book. I'm fucking excited. Cool. Now back to our regularly scheduled full disclosure. Alright. So basically I had to tell the dog, play with yourself, like most of the wrestlers in Georgia. Anyway, so Georgia Wrestling History Awards are coming up. That's definitely exciting stuff. Jerk. Georgia Wrestling History Awards coming up. It's definitely exciting stuff. It's hard to believe. Normally this is when the nominations would go out. But we're going to delay all of this. We're going to get in this whole year. So end of December, we're going to get all the shows in that are going to happen in the Georgia area. And then we're going to start having nomination process and all of that. So the awards, everything's, I would say, going to be about a month later than it usually is. Which is cool. I think it's one of those great adjustments. Now, what that means is a whole bunch of shows are going to be in contention that normally wouldn't be. And that's a good thing, because to me, when I'm looking at all these reports, like if you look at December 11th, that date alone, which is a Friday, you've got Action doing 2 shows. You've got Southern Honor with their big tournament to crown their new champion. You've got Heritage doing a show, which they've done a good job getting publicity for and doing different things for. Now you got IWE back in the mix and all the rest of it. So I think it's going to work out for the best. Now, I haven't heard anything lately, but I assume AWE is going ahead with their taping soon at the end of November. And then the end of December will be their best of the show of the year, right? So all that's going on. Here in Florida, Atomic Wrestling had a sold-out house for their big show this last weekend. They've announced on February 10th they're going to do their 4-year anniversary show, which is sure to be another sellout. And then they're doing a show in December. So they've got it going on here in Florida. I'm going to catch up with what WXW is doing and a couple of other groups. There were a few groups that were meant to make their debut, but then COVID happened, and then it was a big old mess, right? So I don't know if they're going to be running. There's another group called Action here in Florida that has yet to have their debut show. So lots going on in Florida, but let's talk about Georgia, right? Southern Honor's got that title tournament coming up. Pro South has got their thing going up. For this full disclosure, and by the way, the commentary is about a legend retiring. And no, not The Undertaker. That's what our commentary is about. So, Southern Honor title tournament. Let me put the pic up here. What do I have to say about this? Well, I've already said what I thought of it in general in the Platinum Pinfall video. So you want to go back and watch that, where I talk about Platinum Pinfall. I talk about Colt 45. I talk about this tournament and why I think it's such a good idea. And I talk about Xavier Woods and his channel Up Up Down Down winning a very prestigious award, which I think is super cool. But I think the tournament is great, which is weird to even say because I hate tournaments and I hate battle royals. But this thing I think is structured right. I think it's interesting. And most importantly, this graphic here of their title belt, it looks good. I gotta say, throughout 2020, people have gotten better and better about the pictures. So Southern Honor Tournament, today it was announced. Gary's first pick is Gunnar Miller. Dylan's is Owen Knight. Not a former champion and not a guy who's considered a top contender, but it is what it is. He's in the tournament. They can all feel good. So those are the first two announcements. And then every day this week, they're going to each announce somebody else. So there's going to be a total of 12. They're going to have 6 matchups. The 6 winners then go on to face each other in a scramble. So that's what that is. All right, let's get to this next picture. And so this picture, super cool, right? Pro South. So it's going to be Ace Haven against the champion of Pro South, Tyler Culprit. Look at this thing. Look how cool this is. Look how awesome this is. Of course, they had a match at Southern Honor, but at the end of the day, this is going to be on their home floor at Pro South in Alabama, and this thing looks so cool to me. And it's amazing the evolution of Pro South. Not that they didn't have cool stuff before, not that they never did anything any good, but they're getting a lot more attention from different kinds of people right now, and I think they're taking full advantage of it. And Tyler Culprit, of course, what can you say about that dude? He's making it happen, and that picture is just, again, fits in with this gimmick and the rain thing and all that. I just think it's really stylized, and it's just a different level of cool. So congratulations to them. Let's get over to this next pick. So that's Logan Creed, of course, and Alexander Hammerstone. Not the best picture, but it went along with Charles' report. By the way, it was cool to see him do a report. He's a fan, apparently, of IWE. IWE, I get the feeling, is Charles' side piece. And, you know, because Viral just not putting out. Viral's not giving him that nookie cookie. And so he going over and he dipping his wick in some IWE and lighting that candle. You feel me? But anyway, IWE 147, that was their attendance. Seemed like a quality show. They had a cage. They came out big, of course. Social distancing, masks, all that good happy horse shit. So they did all of that stuff. Yeah. Sweet. And it's good to see Charles doing the reports. So now people in that neck of the woods in Georgia, you've got somebody who will go to your shows and do a thorough, good report in Charles. You got Rob Rod, who you know is willing to see anything, right? Rob Rod will see anybody from your $600 an hour escort to the, $10 in a hamburger friggin' crack hooker. Like, Rob Rod got you, no matter what level your show is at. If you will tell him what's up and he is available, Rob Rod will make it happen for you. And then you got Larry Goodman, of course. Perhaps the most expensive escort in the bunch. But you got Larry Goodman doing reports. Once in a while, Nick and Myron throw in. When I go to a show, I'm going to give you some kind of report or some huge, long article where I'm going to have footnotes and fucking annotations and all that shit as well. So, and if you're someone who's interested in writing reports, and I've been told already that somebody's going to hand in a report for Heritage on December 11th. So, dude, nobody's got coverage like this. Definitely take advantage. And it's cool. APW drew 73, which is really good. Of course, their first show back, they were in the low 100s. But 73 is a good number for them. Keeping in mind, at one point, they had slipped well below that. So if they can maintain that 70 and then get way above 100 for their bigger shows, I think they're back in business, baby, and doing their thing. Glad to have them back. The shows where people are really learning and where guys like Strychnine are working with the younger guys to bring them along, I think all positives, all really good stuff. Yeah. Interesting little news item. So JT Talent, buddy, You know who loves JT Talent? Motherfucking everybody. And now this guy is using his freaking printer, his 3D printer, 4D printer, whatever, to make figures. And let me tell you, he's got that shit down. And they had a thing on Georgia Wrestling History, gwhnewsandnotes.blogspot.com, about how you could get a hold of him and get figures for yourself. But all it took was him walking in one locker room and saying he'd do what he'd do. And that man's got orders for days. But you want to get in? You want to figure it yourself? Of course you do. But for the wrestlers who are getting figures made of themselves, let me caution you on something. And allow me to be the asshole to turn that into a teachable moment. Remember that the goal isn't just to get a figure made of yourself. Any more than the goal is, I'm going to buy my own ticket to Japan so I could wrestle there. That's not the goal. It's a cool thing, and I'm not saying don't get your figures. I have more than a few of myself that people have made for me, and they're all fucking great, right? But the goal ultimately is to be able to walk into a store and see your figure. Or in the case of AEW, not be able to see your figure because they're selling so motherfucking well. By the way, there's a lot of indications, just weird anecdotal things. And one of them is you can't get a hold of those AEW figures. I was talking to a guy yesterday who was hanging out with my kids, play video games with his kid. His kid's autistic. And it's the rare social interaction that his kid is comfortable with. So my kids go over there because my kids are the fucking bomb, in case you didn't know. And they go over there and they play video games with them and interact with them that way and keep it greasy, and it's all good. But he does all kinds of cool jobs. But one of those things, he collects these toys. I'll put up pictures of that shit too. In fact, if I can remember, I'm going to put them up right here. Hopefully you're seeing something right there. What are these? These are these weird crossover He-Man / WWF wrestler figures that came out with like Jake Roberts and Macho Man Randy Savage combined with Masters of the Universe figures. Fucking weird shit. And he found this one of Jake where Jake like would take off his face and he'd have a snake face on underneath. And so, yeah, great stuff. Anyway, he was telling me that like you can't get the AEW figures, and he was in a store and saw a couple and called his friend, and his friend told me, well, just get the Cody one. And he's like, are you sure you don't want me to buy all of these? You know, they're really hard to find. And his friend's like, no, just buy me the Cody. And then his friend was lamenting because he couldn't find all the other ones. Anyway, I just think that's a cool anecdotal thing that AEW, man, they're selling stuff. And their demographic, I mean, I know people like to make fun of the demographic thing. Folks, it's no joke. Did you know last week that episode of Dynamite, which was no great shakes, by the way. It was a show. It was like a transitional show where they started a bunch of angles, right? And then continued a bunch of angles. But there were no huge payoffs or anything like that. As opposed to Raw, which had this huge title switch, which got them a decent rating for them, right? But nonetheless, AEW beat in sheer numbers the numbers of 18 to 35-year-olds, men and women. More men and women aged 18 to 35 watched Dynamite than watched Raw. And if you think that's not significant, and if you think that's not an indication that one company is getting more and more out of touch with the people they need to be the most in touch with, I don't know what to tell you. But it's interesting. Anyway, JT Talent making those figures, y'all. And if you don't know JT Talent, all I can tell you is Talent Money. Dude, they were amazing. Fantastic. It's just so great. It's also interesting how guys are finding other ways to make money that are wrestling related, but not wrestling per se, who no longer wrestle. It tells you that they got a pretty good education in some way, shape, or form from professional wrestling. That's what it says to me. Pro Wrestling Circuit, that show is on again, but it's not December 4th. It's going to be rescheduled for later in December. Apparently, Tommy Pitts and the other dude, Richard, mended fences, and I don't fucking know. Shit's fucking weird as fuck, but what do you gotta do, folks? Nothing you can do about it. It's Chinatown/pro wrestling. It is what it is. Let's get to the commentary. This dog is digging a hole through the earth and going bonkers, but not barking anymore at me, is he? No. No, I did not hit the dog. For those of you who want to claim that I hit the dog when I hit pause, I just had an alpha male discussion, and now the dog is cool. I know you want me to throw that ball. If you want me to throw the ball, bring it. Woo. Cool. So, something that was interesting in the IWE report to me, or caught my eye, was the mention of they had a cage match to determine who the new champion was, because the old champion, who was Slim J, was described as retired. Now, I thought, I'm going to dig to find out if Slim J is really retired or what's going on, and then I decided not to. And the reason I decided not to was I was looking at the, like many people, I would hope, who watch Survivor Series, but more importantly, the Undertaker goodbye ceremony. By the way, the idea of that thing was cool, but it was so badly executed. I talked about this in the Survivor Series reaction video that I did, but to have that thing not happen in front of a real crowd, I think something was definitely lost there. But it did remind me of when I read, Slim J is retired. That's why he gave up the IWE title. I just wanted to speak on Slim J and guys like Slim J a little bit for the commentary. Because it's great that in Georgia, youth, such as it is being served. I think that's wonderful. If you look at the top 10, these are all, I'm not saying none of these guys have experience and blah, 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 right? Certainly there's guys on there who've been doing it a minute. Shane Marks, right? Logan Creed, certainly. But youth really gets served well in Georgia wrestling, and that's wonderful. But if you don't know Slim J, if you just think of Slim J as some like minor player, a guy who's too small, who never really made it as much as he should have, so who cares, you're really missing out. So Slim J got started in April of 2001. So you're looking at 19 years, right? And for 12 of those years, he was a trainer. And by all accounts, a fantastic trainer. That's a lot of smarts. And if you watch the matches that have been put up lately of him in 2002, 2004, later, what's remarkable about those matches is how well they hold up and how creative they are and how fucking good he was in the ring. He had the great mix of lay it in, but work safe. It is such a hard balance, especially when you're Slim J's relatively diminutive size. To do that and pull that off and to be able to teach it to others, these are all unique gifts. I'm going to put up this picture of Slim J. Hopefully I remember to do that in post. So, Slim J. Here's the part that I want wrestlers, young wrestlers, to really be inspired by. It's a picture of him in 2001 when he was getting started, and 2019, 18 years later. Is that not impressive? Wherever you're at today, when I look at the younger guys, and many of them are already in fantastic shape and they look really good, but the more that you can up your ring IQ, the more you can learn to play the game. Never forget, as Slim never forgot, that merely getting the audition or getting to the dance is the point. Getting to the dance is not the point. Being great at the dance is the point. And everywhere Slim J was given an opportunity, he really made the best of it. You know, he had a couple of badly timed injuries, no doubt about it. But, man, now he's a grown-ass man, right? Married, kids, that kind of thing happening in his life. But I just wanted to highlight him because when The Undertaker is retired, one thing is for sure, they have milked The Undertaker tit as much as possible. And I'm not blaming WWE or saying that's a bad thing. But anybody who wants to say that that guy did not get to go out, really on more than one occasion, exactly as he wanted to and as he should have, and he got to indulge and he got to do this, and now he gets to complain, you're not supposed to do that to your body and all that stuff, but there's no doubt that he's getting all the accolades and love and respect due him, and that's wonderful. But what I want to make sure happens is that we don't forget guys like Slim J. Whether he chooses to be a part of wrestling or not, whether he never has anything to do with wrestling, no matter how many Hall of Fames you put this guy in Landmark or other places, it's not enough. And ask the people that knew Slim and worked with him. Ask Azriel when you're at Heritage and that kind of thing about Slim. Because you have to realize, in Georgia indie wrestling, this dude is a legend. And that legend doesn't come just because I say it. It came with 19 years of hard matches, great stories, and really living the life of a pro wrestler. And I hope he's able to really feel good about his wrestling career. Even if he didn't get paid to do it at the highest level, that goes for a lot of us. But Slim, he's one of the few that I just insisted on having at PCW. And I was sorry that he wasn't there more when I was there. Because at the end of the day, the number one thing that we should be striving for, of course money, of course all of that kind of stuff. But it's a word that you've heard me say before, and it's a word that's as important now or more important now than it's ever been. And it's one that purely applies to Slim J. And that word is greatness. And if you're not trying to be fucking great, if the decisions you're making aren't about putting yourself in a position to show how great you are, if you aren't working constantly mentally and physically to become greater, then what the fuck are you doing? Greatness. It is a standard I don't apologize for when I look at things, and it should be everybody's goal. I don't care if you're a weekend fucking warrior or somebody who wants to do this for a living. If you're not striving to be great and you're not achieving it eventually, then either figure out a way to do it or get the fuck out and make way for the younger generation, most of whom seem very determined to achieve greatness, even if they didn't know that that's what they were trying to do. Now I'm putting that out as the standard. I love the Jeff G standard whenever we look at somebody and determine how great they are. And he goes like, show me the great match from blank or the great promo from blank. That's his standard. And it's a great first step to ascertaining whether someone has achieved greatness or not. But that is now the lens through which I will look at things through. And people can get mad and people can get angry. But I will never apologize for setting greatness as the standard. Because you shouldn't be mad at me for doing that. You should look at yourself and ask yourself the question, why the fuck am I not applying the standard of greatness to everything that I'm trying to do in pro wrestling? And if you didn't before, now you know. So go be great. This has been Full Disclosure.